Asking for the same thing over and over again isn't fun for anybody. Repeating yourself makes you feel like a nag and makes them feel bad about themselves. Not to mention, it drives you both crazy. So, how do you break the cycle of nagging? Learning how to quit nagging and start talking isn't as complicated as it seems. It's all about opening up those lines of communication and adjusting your expectations. Here are 6 easy steps on how to stop nagging and learn how to open a healthy dialogue with your spouse. Number 1. Watch your words. It's natural to feel exasperated if you feel your spouse isn't pulling their weight around the house. But the last thing you want to do is put your partner on the defensive. How can you avoid this? Simply put, listen to the way you're asking your partner for help. Here is how you think you're saying things. Honey, I would really appreciate it if you did the dishes while I'm at work. But here is how you're actually saying things. How are you so oblivious that you don't even see those dishes piling up while I'm at work? As we can see from this example, your words and the way you make requests of your spouse matter. Instead of making them feel guilty or belittled, phrase it in a way that makes them feel good. For example, you can say, I would really appreciate your help with. It always makes me feel good when. You're my hero when you. These openers are great conversation starters. Number 2. Don't believe in mind reading. Men and women have a terrible habit of believing that after a time their spouse knows them so well, that they should be able to understand what they want without ever having to tell them, but this isn't always the case. Any marriage therapist will tell you that your spouse cannot read your mind. If you need something from them, you need to learn to ask for it. You can start by sending out little cues that you want X or Y. But if they don't catch on by the time you get to Z, it is time to start communicating with your words. Not only does this save your spouse from playing a guessing game, but it also saves you a lot of frustration. Number 3. Make it a shared decision. One way to stop nagging and start being proactive is by getting your partner involved. Problem solving isn't something you should do on your own. When you are married or in a serious relationship, you are partners, not parents to each other. Your job isn't telling your spouse what to do. Your job is to come together as a couple and work at healthy conflict resolution. Identify the problem you're having in a kind and respectful manner, and then ask your partner how to resolve the conflicts at hand. The keys to great problem solving are empathy, communication, and listening to each other. Number 4. Take a marriage course. The need to nag comes down to a fundamental lack of communication in a relationship. When both partners are open and honest about their needs, conversation flows, and partners look for ways to help each other out, instead of being told to do so. Instead of seeing a marriage therapist, why not take a marriage course? There are plenty of online courses designed to help couples understand each other better. The topics covered in the popular online marriage courses include setting shared goals as a couple, building compassion and empathy, mastering the arts of communication, intimacy, and making and sharing traditions. Number 5. Get your partner to hear you. Harping at people doesn't usually get the job done, and no partner wants to be a nag. So, how do you get someone to listen without nagging them? The best way to get your partner to listen to you and avoid ending up in a marriage course for couples on the brink of distractions is to get them to see things from your perspective. Relate your situation to something they can understand. One stay-at-home mom and homemaker worked hard to keep her house neat and tidy. But her construction worker husband would come home and walk through the freshly mopped hardwood floors with his dusty work boots on. She asked him to take his boots off repeatedly, but he could never seem to follow through. One day she said to him, "Keeping the house clean is my job, just like doing drywall is your job. When you come home and walk through the house with your boots on, after I just finished cleaning it, it's as if I came to your construction site and ripped down the drywall you put up that day. Do you see how I could find this to be so frustrating?" The wife used an example the husband could understand, so he became more empathetic to her desires. Number 6. Do it yourself if possible. As they say, if you want something done right, do it yourself. To decrease nagging, ask yourself whether what you're about to say is worth getting upset over, and whether it's worth taking the task into your own hands. If you want to break the cycle of nagging without ending up in the office of a marriage therapist, you need to learn how to rephrase your requests. Speak respectfully and work on building empathy in your relationship. A marriage course can also help build communication and work on your conflict resolution skills. Communication is key to any relationship, and it's especially more important for partners. Sometimes a person may feel like they're communicating properly and aware that their partner is already hearing them nagging. So what do you think of these 6 tips? Do you think they were useful to help you communicate better with your partner? Let us know in the comments below.